You're about to listen to a Gaming Stooges podcast with your regularly scheduled Stooges.
I'm Jack.
The internet calls me Cloud.
And I'm Landon.
We hope you enjoyed today's discussion, and if you do, please consider subscribing to our YouTube channel, following us on Twitch, or joining our Discord. Let's get on with the show.
Hi, folks.
Hi.
If you're listening to this now, it's not quite time yet, but if you are listening to this after we've exported it to podcast locations, it's the 25th anniversary of Pokemon Red and Blue internationally, which is pretty crazy. So, to celebrate the anniversary, we are going to talk about the first generation of Pokemon games, which is Pokemon Red and Blue, Pokemon Yellow primarily. We might talk about some extra side stuff, but we kind of mostly talked about that in a previous episode, so if you want to hear our full thoughts, go listen to that.
This is the part of the stream where we talk about Magikarp Jump from Pokemon Stadium 1.
Yeah, and that's all
because
we
it's a part
about.
of the first. Because it's the first generation of Pokemon.
Yeah,
I mean, it is in the first generation of Pokemon.
and that's the only thing I care about from the first generation of Pokemon.
So, what
True
was
that.
your first exposure to the first generation of Pokemon games?
I don't fucking remember, honestly. I played a friend's or a cousin's, I don't remember, someone's Game Boy that wasn't mine, and I played a little bit of Pokemon Red. I think it was Pokemon Red. I didn't get very far, didn't really know what I was doing. I was like 5, so yeah.
5, so this is at least the year 2000.
Yeah, at least.
Probably like right at the tail end of the generation.
Yeah, although like Pokemon as a game series wasn't really on my radar, honestly. Like, I watched the show, I had a few cards, got into the games kind of late, so I didn't really have any first-hand experience with Gen 1, at least not right away.
I have quite a bit, although it's kind of hard to pinpoint exactly which year I got into it. It was either 1999 or 2000, but because of how vivid my memories are of playing Pokemon Red and Blue and Yellow, I feel like it was 1999 because because I got Gold and Silver in 2001 for my birthday, and I got Pokemon Red and then like shortly after Blue from a different person as the same birthday gift. Either it has to have been 1999 because it was another birthday gift, and I know I played way too much for that to be condensed into a year. But regardless, that was my first exposure. So I mean, I had mentioned it in the previous podcast when we talked about Pokemon as a whole for the whole franchise, and I got an Aqua Game Boy Color, Pokemon Red, and the strategy guide. So that's how I started.
Nice.
Hi, Landon.
Hi, Landon.
Oh.
Landon's a part of this podcast, too.
Hi. It's me, Landon, the comic relief.
He's like, Generation 1 was just a fever dream, right?
The comic
that didn't
relief.
No, it's...
Landon, we're all the comic relief.
No, it's mostly me. Please.
Okay.
Please calm yourself.
Please, it's all I... Please, it's all I have. Don't take it from
Leave
me.
yourself with my comedy.
I have answered this question because it's the same response I gave when we did
the
our
same answers in the
our Pokemon whole thing. Whatever I don't remember the name of that episode. I try to forget.
It was
the
just called
episodes.
Pokemon.
I try to forget these episodes after I'm done editing them and I hand them off.
That's fair.
He hands them off and then he completely forgets that he ever did them.
These podcasts are all fever dreams.
Yes. I got a copy of Pokemon Yellow and the Special Edition Game Boy. And then I got a copy of Pokemon Snap, both at around the same time. Not Snap, sorry, Stadium. Snap came slightly after that. But yeah. That was my intro. And then I also, for a short while, also had a copy of Pokemon Blue. And then, as I mentioned before, both of those got They flew under a bus heater when I was heading home one day. It was real
Ripperoni.
badass.
Sucks ass.
Yeah, so I hate Generation 1. It's my least favorite gen.
Do you guys... So, let me just go over real quick. I mean, it's pretty obvious, like... But just in case you've been living under a rock, Pokemon, the first generation, introduced your first 151 Pokemon, the region of Kanto, and basically set the formula for the whole series. There was like 160 moves. Usually nobody remembers the moves. But there was like that, and a bunch of other stuff like your party of 6, you've got the PC system, all that cool stuff. So that there's a lot of stuff that the first generation games introduced. Do you guys remember the first team that you used to play through the game with?
No. Not at all.
Pokemon Yellow, it definitely was, unfortunately, Pikachu. And then probably the 3 other Kanto starters. And then a bird. Probably a Pidgey. And then...
Not a Pidgeotto or Pidgeot, just a Pidgey.
I mean, it was probably a Pidgeot by the end, but I don't remember what the last thing was. But I do remember using all 3 starters.
Yeah, for me it's kind of tough to think, because like I had both Red and Blue at the same time, and I don't remember which one I beat first, and I don't remember my parties between the two. I know that in Red version I started with Bulbasaur, that was my first pick, and I know that on that file, I don't know if I beat it first or second, I had a Pidgeot, Venusaur, I think I had a Golduck? That sounds about right. I think I had a Golduck. I think I doubled down on water because I remember Vaporeon being on my team at some point. And then I don't know the rest. Like, I know I've used various Pokemon. Like, I had a Raichu that might have been carried through the entire game. Just a bunch of other random stuff. Like, it was, oddly enough, I have gone, like, the solo starter route for, like, a game. But it was not my first game for some reason. The first time I played, even when I was like 7, I was like, I'm going to use a whole team of Pokemon. So.
Is that what you sounded like when you were 7? I sounded just like this. I'm going to use a whole team of Pokemon.
God. But
my favorite is Venonat.
I don't even remember, like, what I used for my first party.
No, I don't either.
But I will say, I do have a lot of memories of, like, the journey traveling through the Kanto region, because there was just so many cool areas to explore. I don't know about you, but that's probably one of the main things. Like, if you had to, like, I know that, opinions on these games can sway back and forth, but as far as, like, these games go, like, what would you say is probably the most attractive feature to you that, like, probably made that, like, you still, like, think about and you're like, oh yeah, that was a thing about the games that I liked?
As far as the original generation goes?
Yes, specifically the original generation.
Okay, I will say, as far as, like, I mean, it doesn't really come through totally in the games, but character design and Pokemon design is pretty solid overall. Like, very few misses, I would say.
Yeah.
And I love the original Ken Sugimori art style.
Yeah,
like
the original Ken Sugimori art where he has, like, the watercolor effect.
Yeah.
It's
so fucking good. Can we go back to that?
I don't know, fan artists will, like, replicate the old Sugimori art style and they'll, like, draw other stuff in that style. I'm like, that's so, like, I wish that was just the official art style still.
Yeah. That is one thing I will say that is objectively worse about Gen 3 than the 2 generations previously, is that the art style it's a little bit worse. It's still good.
Yeah,
I still like it a lot. It's just a little bit less, like, unique, I suppose.
Right.
It definitely still has a look, but, like, the watercolor shit was always really cool.
Yeah, no, I agree. I think, for me, the most the thing that most attracts me to the games, even when like I think about it like now. And this, it's even more so like I like a lot of the aspects that we'll talk about later, but if there's one thing I really have to nail down, it's probably the presentation. Like, similar to you, not so much just specifically the designs, but just the vibe of, like, you know, the low detail music because of the limited hardware. Like, the music and sound design, the visual design, the sprite work they managed to pull off. Like, for the time, it was really impressive how they managed to get all of that onto a Game Boy cartridge. And just, even though it's still a little clunky and messy, like, when by today's standards, like, the menu interface was actually really clean for its time on a Game Boy game. Like, it was pretty easy to pick up and understand what you were doing. So I would say that it has a very good just overall presentation to it.
It's
even today.
It's accessible enough that any, like, 6-year-old in the entire world, like, had a basic understanding of how the game worked. Right.
Because there's some Game Boy games that, like, do not have good, like, visual design.
Yeah.
And Pokemon Red and Blue, thankfully, they managed to avoid whatever trappings that does.
Like, for all the bullshit that there is in the first generation, which...
And there's a lot.
There's a lot.
We can talk about it.
There's so much. We'll get to it. But, like, you can still go back and play them. I mean, like, they're not, like, unplayable by any means. I mean, you know exactly, like, where everything is, and, like, everything looks like it's supposed to, or at least you get an understanding of what it's supposed to be.
Right.
Like, when you see a building, or a person, or a sign, or...
Like, you know what you're looking at.
Yeah. And it's not, like, hard to navigate either, you know? It comes... The game has a map. It's damn near mandatory, even though it's, like, very easy to miss if you don't know where to get it.
Yeah.
But still.
And the Kanto region map is pretty nice. Like, I know people, like, can kind of jump on Kanto from both sides, like, oh, this, you know... Good, you know, greatest of all time, best ever, flawless, and like other people will be like, Kanto sucks, it's boring, all the shit in here is like so undetailed and blah blah blah. But like, I think for its time, Kanto's a pretty good region. It's aged, but it does a good job.
I would still say that Kanto is in like probably the top half of regions. Like, out of all 9, I would say Kanto is probably 5th place at worst.
Yeah. Okay, what about you though, Landon? What's a feature that really you think about that still makes the games like attractive to you?
Weedle.
Just the Pokemon Weedle?
Yeah.
Is that why you didn't care for your first game being yellow because you can't get them?
Yeah.
Let's go with that. I appreciate the curveball that you said Weedle instead of just Bulbasaur, because it's like, if you said Bulbasaur, it would have just been like, Landon,
just so expected.
You threw us for a loop on that one.
You did. Could have even gone with Magikarp. You didn't even go with that.
Is that a fucking... Hold on, this is unrelated, and this isn't going to come through on the podcast. Is that a Metroid long sleeve?
It is. It's a Metroid Dread long sleeve.
That's fucking sick.
It's got the...
Okay, sorry. Off topic.
On one sleeve and blank on the other.
Oh, just one... Oh,
yeah.
Okay, that's half cool.
It's less sick than you think, but it was free, so it's more sick.
Okay, then it's extremely sick. Yeah. Alright, sorry. Back to the...
Weedle.
Back to the main topic.
So Weedle.
He's just so small and round and pointy.
What was the bug catcher's name from the early episode where Ash had a Metapod and the other kid had a Kakuna?
Fuck.
I don't remember.
His name was Johnny Fuckseed.
Well, no. If you're thinking of the episode that I'm thinking, where like they do like the Harden battle, they were both Metapod.
Were they both Metapod?
Yeah,
I thought one of them had a Kakuna.
Metapod.
Oh, okay, never mind.
No, they were both Metapod.
But now I'm curious. I want to know what his name was.
Speaking of Kakuna, I thought it was interesting. Like, some of the Pokemon designs have changed slightly over the years. Like, remember how Kakuna like had like the pieces of like its cocoon that looked like little sickles, like just kind of sticking out?
Well, doesn't it still technically? They just usually just have it.
They're kind of like they're kind of like in, and they're kind of like shoulder pad looking because they're like really high up. But like before, like he had them like sticking out like Scyther's like scythes or something like that.
They're his little slap fight like.
Is that how
sticks.
he uses Poison Sting if he
Yeah.
evolves from a Weedle?
Yeah, he just like spits those out and just goes me, 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 like that.
His name was literally just Samurai. He
That's
did not have a
funny.
name.
Yeah,
Did not have a
fuck
name.
stick Johnny or whatever I said earlier.
Johnny Fuckseed.
Yeah, that
Johnny Applefuck. I think that works better.
Johnny fuck.
Yeah.
4 kids fuck. I think that was his full name.
Yeah.
Anyway,
Weedle.
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 Nothing further, Your Honor.
No further elaboration.
What was the real question?
The real question. He's already forgot the question.
He had an answer, and he was gonna give that answer regardless of what the question was.
Yeah, I was
He
gonna say
not
Weedle.
His ass was not paying attention.
The question was, what's like, even in the first games, like a feature, something about the games that's still like attractive to you as like a game?
Oh, being able to enslave small creatures.
I mean, that's one way to put it.
Yeah.
I mean,
it
befriending
is.
nature's bounty and capitalism. Oh.
What?
I don't know. But no, it is kind of interesting how like solid the mechanics of just like exploring and catching and collecting are, even in the first even in those first games. It's like they really got the addicting concept of just, as Landon said, enslaving
Small
these
animals.
creatures to do my bidding, and capitalism.
Your bidding and capitalism.
Yeah, my bidding is not capitalism, but am I gonna make a quick buck off of these little creatures?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
that's how the game's designed.
True.
Yeah.
You do get
who's
money
your favorite
for
gym
winning.
leader?
Who's my? Hold on.
Ooh, Erica.
Jack, what did you say?
Erica.
No, before that.
What did I say before that? I don't know.
Okay.
What were we talking about?
I'm moving the topic forward.
He doesn't want to listen to
Okay.
me rant about
Written about capitalism in our
Oh.
Pokemon in our Pokemon podcast.
the more like iffy parts about Pokemon, you know. Anyway,
Yeah.
favorite.
I think you
What-
had a
what-
little.
what
little
did
too
I
much
say,
to
though? I
drink
don't
at that
remember.
restaurant.
All I had to drink at the restaurant was tea and water, so you got a nice sober Landon tonight to give you all the rundown. Anyway,
Oh, wow.
about Erica.
Yeah. Erica's cool.
Erica's your favorite? Was that always the
Um,
case, or did she just grow into your favorite?
I liked Erica a lot when I was a kid. I just liked grass Pokemon in general. Also, I had a crush on her when I was a kid, so there you go.
Fair.
But I mean, if not her, then Koga?
Koga's
probably.
pretty cool.
I like Koga. He's a ninja. That's
I
sick.
I don't know who my favorite was at first. It's probably either like Misty or maybe Sabrina, but over time I think my favorite one's Blaine. Just because he's so goofy and like
Gen 1 Blaine,
over the top.
who absolutely sucks at his job.
Yeah.
That's why I like him.
I mean, that's fair.
He's a mad scientist, but he's also a bad scientist.
He's a bad mad scientist.
I
And
also-
who's your favorite gym leader?
It'd probably be either Brock or Erica.
Okay.
Erica gang.
Yeah,
Now I feel left out.
good. I mean, okay. You can always change your opinion.
Al says Anime Blaine was neat. Did Anime Blaine have hair?
Yes.
Am I remembering that correctly?
So interesting tidbit about that. So the thing about early Pokemon, like the first generation, is that they had so many different ideas going on that some made it into the final games, and then some made it into the final games in a way, but like the rest of the media didn't adapt in time to it. So like with Blaine, they had designed him to have hair at first, and they still had like art, and they'd already got him ready for the anime looking like that. Even the TCG they started like off, I think they like the first art that they used of Blaine was from Sugimori art, so he still had it. But then when they got him to the final game, they had already changed his design. And that happens like to quite a few like things, not just characters, but like some Pokemon designs and like just other aspects. It's like really weird how they had the just design the development cycle for that. So he was bald in the sprite, but not in the art. It was weird. Yeah. So one thing about Pokemon Red and Blue is they managed to introduce 15 of the 18 types that had come out that we have at the time. Everything but Dark Steel and Fairy that we know today.
They did have like pretty much everything from the get-go.
They did. What would you guys say? Now I already know Landon's answer.
Do you?
Yes. What would you say is your favorite type?
I never have a...
I
don't know. I always want to say grass, just because I think grass Pokemon are usually really cool, and I think they're underrated. I love a good grass type.
I'm assuming... I have to assume it's grass type for Landon.
It's fighting type. Thank you for asking.
There's no way that's true.
Fighting is also up there
I love
for me.
him on
I
don't know what you're talking about.
I do love fighting types.
Oh my goodness. I think out of the 15 types at the time of Generation 1, like my favorite of the types now is probably ground, but my first favorite type was definitely water, because there's a lot of cool water type Pokemon.
That is true.
Because I mean, you have Lapras, Vaporeon, Blastoise, Gyarados, Starmie. A lot of Golduck, which I apparently used one of.
A Cloud. I used Magnezone.
He used Magnezone. Cloud used Golduck. Jack used Magnezone.
You can't use Magnezone in the first generation.
He did it.
Cloud. I used Magnezone.
God.
Don't you know, Cloud, if you beat the Elite Four 35 times and then run 2 miles in the game, then you'll unlock Magnezone.
Oh, God. Did you guys ever hear those rumors when you were, like, a kid? About
absolutely.
That? Like, those bullshit playground rumors?
Everyone made up, like, stupid rumors about the game that were not true.
You know what I wish was a thing? Speaking of dumb rumors... Remember the episode where, like, Ash and gang were, like, I think they were on, like, an island or something. They run into a bunch of Ghastlies and stuff, and they run into the fusion, Blastoise Venusaur.
Oh, yeah.
I wish that was a thing.
Venustoise.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think, that was also a playground rumor, like... After the episode, like, kids were like, "Oh, if you do this, and like the third thing, you get Venustoise."
Venustoise.
That's the name of the Pokemon, according to the Ghastly in that episode. He's like, "I'll fuse Venusaur and Blastoise together to get Venustoise." But no, I think my favorite of all of like the bullshit ones was like at the time when we were playing the games, there was already news of the upcoming Pokemon games from Japan, which would be Gold and Silver, of like what's supposed to be, coming out, and like they would mix it up with stuff that you could supposedly get in the current Pokemon games, such as Peekaboo, which people had mistaken Meryl for at first. They thought it was a Pikachu evolution, but they were like, oh, if you leave your Raichu in the daycare for like a bajillion years and take like 297,000 million quadrillion steps and then go turn around 3 times in Cerulean Cave where Mewtwo stood and then level up Raichu to level 101 with a rare candy, you'll get Peekaboo. It was like I mean, I'm exaggerating, but there was like that was one of those rumors because they had a bunch of like different like PokeGod rumors, and it probably doesn't help that there were rumors that were true, that were also getting out there, like Missing No, and being able to like get bajillion duplicates of items and stuff like that. So, people were willing to believe anything at that point.
I heard if you give me $30, you get Pika Blue in your copy of the game.
Yeah. Give me $30 and I'll bring Pokemon Purple to school tomorrow.
Kid drops out of school after that.
Damn.
Goes to a whole nother country and starts school there.
That's what I would do if I got $30.
Untraceable.
Just $30.
Dude.
All for $30.
$30 as a child? Do you know how much that inflation that turns that into?
See, the thing is, when I was a kid and I made money, I always thought of it in terms of like, how much is the next video game that I want?
Exactly.
And if it wasn't enough, then I didn't have enough money.
You had zero money.
And then if I had enough, I would go buy the thing and start over with another game.
And have zero money.
Yup.
See? Always net zero, baby.
Hell yeah.
Today's sponsor is Net Zero.
What? No. No. I didn't approve that ad.
Damn, Landon's offended.
I have to approve every single ad read. Those are my two jobs.
So he can...
Approving ad reads, eating Tillamook.
Editing the pod... Oh, I thought you were going to say editing the podcast.
Do you guys have a favorite location from the Kanto region?
Ooh, that's a good question.
He's Landon's laughing. Oh, cheer.
I was just gonna say Viridian Forest or whatever. Because that's where I can get Weedle.
I didn't even think about that. I just thought you picked like
I knew immediately once he said it. I was like, you son of a bitch.
The lamest place in the fucking region.
Hey. Get Caterpie there too.
But Landon...
Viridian Forest is fine.
But Landon, you can also get Pikachu at Viridian Forest.
Don't.
God, imagine. Did you ever run into Pikachu as your Viridian Forest encounter?
On the Nuzlocke?
Yeah.
No, thank God.
That would have been really funny.
I would
if
have
you
restarted the whole game.
Yeah,
at least you
it's probably
pretty
would.
close to the beginning of the game.
Yeah, so
you probably would, considering how early it is. Let me look at the map.
I mean,
the Kanto
legitimately,
region.
that's probably a good idea because that's kind of a bad encounter to get there at that point in the game.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Pikachu's not useful until like Misty.
Yeah,
you'd have a hard time.
So,
like
if you're,
it up.
I was gonna say if that was your encounter, I actually probably would contemplate resetting because like if you can't get Caterpie and then level it up into a Butterfree, like
well, it depends on
you can just lose.
It depends on what you have, like your other 3 encounters before that.
Yeah, because you have Route 1, Route 2, and Route 22.
Uh-huh.
So.
Okay, I have an answer. I don't know what the route numbers are. It's the routes like south of Lavender Town.
Oh,
and then like the docks that go into that like seaside.
12 and 13 have the docks.
12 and 13, and then like
mostly 12.
And then like east of Fuchsia, like that connecting L.
Oh yeah, so 12,
south...
13, 14, and 15.
Yeah, just like the southeast corner of the region. Like those are some like that's one thing that I love about like the older God, I'm stumbling. Newer Pokemon games, not to complain about how things used to be in the old days, but how things were better in the old days, but like I miss gauntlet routes, you know?
Yeah.
I love a good route that like kicks my ass and takes my lunch money. Give me like 20 trainers to fight in a row. Like that's one thing, like even like Gen 5, as much as I love it, like all the routes are really short and it just doesn't feel as like vast.
Yeah,
you know
I mean they do a better job when they have to edit the region a bit for Pokemon Black 2 White 2, because they do end up with a nice stretch when you go to some of the unique areas before the post game that like can like blend together, and you have to go for a while.
Yeah.
The Hoenn region also did stuff like that too.
Yeah,
We'll be able to
for
talk
sure.
about the Hoenn region and those games at a later date, but
Oh,
Probably
that is
like
something I
season
like.
That's-
4.
that's
I think
my
that's a
podcast.
season 4 topic.
Fuck you, Landon. How long is a season for us?
A year.
Probably probably the whole year. So like,
Oh, damn, that's a lot of episodes.
Yeah, whenever like the next year from when we started, that'll be season 2, so on and so forth.
I thought this would be like a 12-episode anime.
We're past that now, baby.
No, I was gonna say we're on episode 14 now, so it's probably gonna be a good 26 episodes.
All right,
You know,
then
one
this
every
is
2 weeks.
this is a 14-episode series. This is the finale of the Gaming Stooges podcast.
Wow.
And we're gonna skip to season 4 so Jack can talk about Pokemon Ruby Sapphire.
Yes,
Season
please.
2 and 3 are just going to be 1-episode seasons.
Oh god.
There'll be feature-length films. Don't worry.
Yeah.
All of our podcasts are feature-length films.
That is true.
But those will be feature-length seasons.
Oh Jesus.
Do you know how much time I'll have to spend editing those?
So you're saying we're gonna have 2 episodes that are longer than the history of Sonic that take up the whole season.
Yeah.
Yes. Perfect.
God. What would we
20
even talk about for 8 to 10 hours?
We could find a topic. I
We
guarantee.
could find like
we
3 topics.
We could find like literally just do another history of Sonic, and it'll be fucking 12 hours long.
Yeah, done.
But my favorite area is probably the power plant. And the Pokemon Mansion in Cinnabar too. I just think it's really cool that the Kanto region has these like man-made dungeons, and then there's also like natural dungeons too. Just that mix of the two both being in the same game, I just think is pretty cool. Kanto actually has a decent variety of dungeons for being in an urban setting.
Yeah, I mean, there are some good ones, but also like there's also just like Mount Moon, Rock Tunnel, and
Mount Moon is pretty good. It's just not like it just hasn't aged great. Although, yeah, no, Rock Tunnel.
Mount Moon is a good like early dungeon, but Rock Tunnel is just the same thing but
Rock
boring.
Tunnel is. Yeah, and forcing you to use flash so that you can get through, or stare like directly into your screen so you can make out the edges of the walls and shit. Landon, did you have a serious answer, or are you sticking with Viridian
I mean,
Forest?
I like Viridian Forest.
But
like
that's actual answer?
No, it's not my like real answer. I was trying to think. I think it's Is it Route 23, 24? Is that the ones that are above?
The ones that are connected to Victory Road?
No.
Oh, 24 and 25. The ones above Cerulean.
Those ones, I like that area because it's another, like, well, with Nugget Bridge, you got another gauntlet area. Leading you between that.
Yeah.
But you have, like, a choice at that point in the game because you can go fight your rival and head to Blue's house, or you can fight a gym leader. You got a little bit of a...
You have
I like
options.
it when the game gives you options for your next major fight.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I like
If I had to pick...
I like Rocket Hideout. Yeah.
Yeah.
Rocket Hideout's alright.
I do like Rocket Hideout.
Yeah.
Rocket Hideout's pretty good.
If I had to pick like a specific landmark, I would say probably the Safari Zone.
So the Safari Zone's cool.
Safari Zone.
Actually, I wanted to bring up one thing I like about Kanto, and I think that quite a few of the newer regions lost this aspect to them, but there's several regions that managed to do the same thing, is that no matter what town you're in, every town has a reason to be there. There's like some sort of attraction. Like Viridian City has, not just the gym, but also the Pokemon School. Pewter City has the museum. Cerulean City has the bike shop. Like, even if it's like something small, there's a secondary reason for that town or city to exist. And Like, even Lavender Town has the Pokemon Tower. Like, every location is important in some way, and that's something that some of the later regions don't do. Like, I remember Kalos and X and Y had, like, a couple of towns that literally are just there as a stopgap and nothing else. There's no secondary purpose for it.
That's because they don't explain the secondary purpose of the meth that is being sold out of that town.
And they would definitely
perfect.
They would have to raise the age rating, and you can't do that. But like they like to keep it hush hush, but there are definitely some like underground meth rings in the Pokemon world.
It's there. It's there.
Yeah. Yeah, no, I totally agree. I like that. It makes all of the towns feel super unique. And something like not enough regions do is like Route 4 has that Pokemon Center right before Mount Moon. It's like you don't need to have like you don't need to have a town to have a Pokemon Center. You can just put them wherever.
And the funny thing is like they didn't do that again
until like Gen 8.
As like Pokemon Centers on a route until,
Gen 8 or Gen 7. Yeah.
Gen 7 had some Pokemon Centers like out on routes, and that was the first time we'd seen that since Kanto. I like that too. I think it's flavorful that like the Pokemon Centers sometimes pop up, just in spots where travelers would naturally be flocking to, and it's not necessarily in a city. It just adds more flavor to the world, and I think that's probably one of the reasons why, just as a kid, you're just subconsciously like, ooh, this is cool. Like, our big pee-pee poo-poo brains are like, yeah, this is really fun and exciting, but like there's reasons why like we look at these things and, enjoy them even when we can't formulate like the thought process of why we do. So I think examining like your favorite games like we are today is kind of a way to
I have a question for the masses and mostly for us. Favorite legendary bird of this gen?
Ooh.
Like of the three.
Oh.
Zapdos?
Probably Zapdos.
I was also going to say Zapdos. Big angry shocky bird. I don't know if this is a hot take or not, but Articuno is probably my least favorite of the three.
Oh no, I just said Articuno.
Oh, I'm sorry.
I will have to kill.
I liked Articuno.
I mean,
for the longest time. Like Articuno
I like
used
all
to be my
three of them.
favorite.
I think they're all cool, but like I think Moltres and Zapdos are cooler than Articuno in my opinion. Ironic.
No, that's factually incorrect.
It's very ironic.
Yeah. Articuno is the coolest because it's ice type. Come on.
I'm not even going to ask favorite starter from this gen because we all know what our answers are.
Everyone's answer is Bulbasaur. Yeah. Moving on.
Correct.
No.
Jack said correct.
Mine is Squirtle.
All right. Favorite evolution of the first three?
Eevee.
Vaporeon.
Just base Eevee.
Always Eevee.
I actually might say Flareon. Jolteon is actually my least favorite of the three. I know this is a hot take. People usually hate Flareon, but I'm like, I think it's fine.
I will disagree with that. I think Flareon's cute, but I like Vaporeon and Jolteon more. I almost never...
Al says Flareon.
All right, fair enough.
I like Al's take.
Almost never use Flareon, honestly.
What do you say, Landon?
I said Eevee, so I don't have to be part of this argument.
Wow. Okay, Hitmonlee or Hitmonchan?
Goodness.
Hitmonlee.
I would agree. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I like Hitmonchan more, but in the earlier games, Hitmonlee's just better.
He's so cool.
He's just a face. I love that artwork that someone drew the other day. I saw it on Twitter. I forget who drew it, and I don't have it on hand, but it's like it's Hitmonlee and Hitmonchan in like schoolgirl outfits, and like Hitmonlee's face is completely covered by the shirt.
Which fossil did you guys pick for the first time you played, if you remember? Or which one do you always go for, like, most of the time?
Kabuto.
Twitch Plays Pokemon ruined Ammonite
the Helix fossil for you? Aww.
So,
But Ammonite's so cool.
see, that's the problem, is I like it, and then they ruined it.
Or you can just not care what others think, even if you agree with them, and still pick the one you like.
What?
What?
No.
No way.
Do you know what character I built over the last decade plus? Do you think that person would do that?
Ironically, that decade most of that decade plus has existed at the same time as Twitch plays Pokemon.
Exactly. What was the question?
I don't fucking remember.
I don't remember.
Which fossil?
Bulbasaur.
Which you... That's not even a fossil!
Weedle.
God damn it, Landon. Are there any other choices that, like...
I'm trying to think.
I think that covers all the choices, like, that you have over the course of the game between, like, 2 Pokemon. Alright, here's an interesting question I have for you guys. What would you say is, like, one of your least favorite of the original 151 Pokemon? What Pokemon do you cannot get behind, no matter what?
I'm gonna refresh my memory. My gut answer is Lickitung, but
Your gut answer is Lickitung? I like Lickitung. I would probably say that my number 1 is probably the Goldeen line. Like, they're literally just
fuck
fish.
yeah,
Like,
Seeking!
Fuck yeah, Seeking! What the fuck is wrong with you?
I can't get behind Goldeen and Seeking. Like, I don't care for their design.
Of the sea.
Especially Seeking, I don't like his design. They suck as actual Pokemon.
Oh my god.
I don't like
You're bringing stats into this? Jesus.
I'm bringing my whole opinion,
Damn.
which is everything about the Pokemon.
Yeah, but his name's Sea King. He's the king of the sea. He's so cool. I wish I was Seeking. Anyway,
on that note,
the answer's Weedle.
On that note, I'm not the biggest fan of Dugong either.
I was gonna say the same thing. Like, Gen 1 has very few misses, in my opinion. But Seal and
And almost
Dugong...
all of them are water type.
But Seal and Dugong are like...
But Seal's so cute. Look at
It
Seal.
is.
Seal's
I'm not,
cute.
Hulu.
I'm
I
not
just
disputing
don't care for
that.
Dugong.
Hulu, Jack. Hulu.
Hulu. But like,
Hulu.
I just...
Go watch our Pokemon XD.
I don't know. There's just nothing about them that's really that special.
He's got a little cute horn. Don't be so mean
He-
to Seal.
he
Which ones do you not like, Landon? I'm very curious. Like, besides Pikachu, obviously, because we know you don't like Pikachu, but what are some others that you don't like?
I don't like Weedle.
You
I
just said that Weedle was like the best aspect of Pokemon.
I
You're like, I don't like it. It's the best part about it.
I always thought that Execute was kind of fucking stupid. It's just eggs with faces.
Yeah, but that's so cute. I can't even try.
Actually, they're seeds.
Whatever, man.
I know they are. I mean, I've grown to like
But
be indifferent to them.
but Executor, good Pokemon. But Execute is kind of just whatever.
I hate Arcanine, and I
I will.
hate what are other popular Pokemon?
Fuck you.
Alakazam,
Charizard, Alakazam. Name another popular Pokemon.
Gyarados,
Mewtwo.
Bulbasaur.
I hate Mewtwo. I absolutely hate Gyarados. What was that, Jack?
Bulbasaur.
What'd you say? What the fuck did you just say?
Bulbasaur.
Say it to my face.
Bulbasaur.
Bitch.
Aw.
Al says he doesn't like me enough. Fair enough.
You're gonna make me cry.
Oh, I hurt his feelings.
I don't have any. You can't hurt those. I sold those for $30.
Then why are you crying?
Let's call it allergies.
Okay, I'm actually suffering from allergies right now. It sucks.
Anyway.
No,
probably my least favorite is Pikachu, and I don't have to have a reason.
Yeah, that's fair.
That's fair enough.
Oh, and Gyarados, because why would you ruin a perfectly good Pokemon?
Yeah, there are very few misses. I know I said that already. Mr. Mime is kind of... He exists.
Mr. Mime is just weird, but I think I like Mr. Mime, even though it's kind of weird.
Yeah, I kind of it's different.
I don't like that Machoke is just a guy.
Yeah, that's true. Machoke is literally just a guy
Machoke
with
is
veiny
man.
arms. That's it.
I love that one comic that's like the dad talking to his son. He's like, son, we need to have a talk about your choice of Pokemon. And then he's like in bed with like a lot of
The
like
Machoke.
burly buff Pokemon. And he's just like, elaborate. Machoke is just a guy.
Speaking of which, did you guys ever get to like trade with a friend or anything to evolve those Pokemon?
Oh, yeah.
Because there's 4 of them, and I never actually got to like trade with anyone to let me actually use them in game.
That sucks.
I had already beaten the game before I had finally found friends that had a Game Link cable so I could trade.
Damn.
Like so I have this interesting story. I put a Haunter that I caught at the Pokemon Tower in the daycare, and the daycare at this time, there's no breeding. It only has 1 Pokemon at a time, but it still has the whole take 1 step. It's 1 EXP. So I played the rest of the game forgetting the Haunter was in that daycare, and I must have spent several dozen hours even after I beat the game forgetting this Haunter was there. I finally go pick it up, and it's level 54.
Jesus.
Hell yeah.
And I finally got to trade it with a cousin or another relative and evolve it and trade it back so I could have a Gengar. But by that point, I think I'd already spent like 60, 70 hours on the game, and I'd already done everything. So like at that point, I didn't get to use it for any purpose.
You just beat up Jigglypuffs.
With a Gengar?
Yeah.
I mean, I guess.
Good.
Funny.
It would be pretty funny.
But yeah, no, I never got to use the trade evolutions back when I was a kid, unfortunately.
I don't think I did until Gen 3, because at that point I had my own Game Boy and a Game Boy Advance. Game Boy Advance SP.
Alright.
Ah,
And my own link cable so I could trade between my own games.
gotcha.
How about top 5 Pokemon from this generation?
Ooh.
Not just, and I don't mean like, no, it has to be individual Pokemon. You can't do like a whole evolutionary line.
Ooh.
Okay.
Okay. Ready?
Yes. Weedle. Yeah.
Done.
Damn, alright.
Please give an actual answer. I'm literally begging you. Just one of these questions, give an actual answer.
Just don't say fucking Weedle. God damn it!
You're driving him up the wall.
Literally driving me. Do you already have an answer,
Weedlemobile?
Jack, or were you expecting answers from us first?
No, I don't have an answer yet.
So mine, it's kind of tough. I mean, my first favorite is like the normie pick, which is Mewtwo.
Ew.
Like, I think Mewtwo's cool. All right, I like Mewtwo a lot. Snorlax, I like Snorlax a lot. Gyarados, Rhydon, and probably Magnemite. I don't know. I just really like Magnemite.
Alright, so Vaporeon for sure is my go-to. I'm gonna say Ivysaur.
That's an interesting pick.
I just like Ivysaur's design a lot. Like, it's
The middle stage starters for this generation
the
are
middle
still really
stage.
cool.
Oh, Gen 1 has the best middle stage starters, like, of any generation. They're all fucking, like, really good.
They are all good.
So yeah, what did I say? Vaporeon, Ivysaur. I like Nidorina a lot. Just cute, good design.
Yeah, pretty good design.
Fucking God, I'm just scrolling down through the list of 151. I'm tempted to say Kabutops, but holding off on that. Oh, I love Kangaskhan. Kangaskhan's
a good one too. To this day, it bothers me that Kangaskhan's like baby is not its own separate Pokemon.
Yeah.
Like, and it's weird because like it's not the only Pokemon that happens to. Like the Cloyster, as it is on Slowbro's tail, is not its own separate Pokemon, and they were gonna do it in Gen 2, and then they cut it so it never happened. Gen 1 has these weird cases of like pieces of Pokemon that are separate Pokemon attached to them that just are not their own Pokemon.
Yeah, for sure.
Or Pokemon like Dugtrio and Magneton, which are literally just 3 of the same Pokemon put together.
Okay, yeah. Vaporeon, Ivysaur, Nidorina. I'm gonna say Oddish. I love Oddish. And just like purely design-wise, probably Sandslash.
Okay.
It's like kind of a shit Pokemon, but it looks really cool.
I mean, I agree. Sandslash does look really cool. I've used it a couple of times.
Good design. Oh, fuck. I forgot Arcanine. Damn. Sorry, Sandslash.
Sorry, Sandslash. Wow. Landon, do you have any...
You want to finish that statement?
Do you have any other answers besides Weedle?
What the fuck, man? Why can't I just like Weedle?
Because I asked for 5.
Oh,
you did ask for 5.
Well, why didn't you just say that?
I did.
4 more Weedle. Little did you know, I'm a bug catcher this whole time, baby.
For the podcast listeners, Cloud is just closing his eyes and he's silently raging.
He's dead inside and outside. I like Bulbasaur.
Okay.
And Hitmonlee.
Okay.
And I don't think there's any other Pokemon released this generation.
At all?
I don't think so.
Weedle.
Not even Magikarp.
Who? No, that's a Gen 2 Pokemon.
What?
Wow. What the... Okay. So...
I think that's all I got, honestly. Those are my, 2 standouts.
Okay. So Jack mentioned earlier that we were going to get to this. So... As much as Generation 1 might, be fun and might still hold up and play decently well today, it is dated. It has showed its age, and there are some wonky aspects to these games. So, going back, what would you say is 1 or 2 things that, stand out to you really as being, super archaic?
It's a perfect video game.
Well, I did find the that one picture titled "The Problem with Gen 1" with a shitload of glitches.
A large graphic of a bunch of stuff that.
Oh yeah,
yeah, either a design mistake or a bug with the game.
Yep. I'm just gonna skim through it
because I think one that stands out to me is and this is partially not the game's fault because it's a Game Boy game, but at the same time Gen 2 does manage to fix this quite a bit, so it still is kind of its fault anyway. And that's just a lack of information. The games don't tell you what the items do, what the moves do, nothing. You have to figure it all out yourself. It is the standard mid-90s and earlier RPG trope of they don't tell you what these things do, you just have to try it out. And it's one of the latest RPGs to do that.
I think...
Yeah, but I don't need hand-holding in my video game.
Yeah, but the least they could do is tell you that a potion heals 20 HP. You don't even know that till you use one.
Listen, I don't ask for directions. I don't need to be told what anything does. I'm just going to use it.
So you don't even care if, you don't know the difference between Fire Spin and Ember?
I don't think there is a difference. They both do damage.
They're very different, especially in this generation.
Speaking of, I was going to bring up that specifically. I'm just going to read this section from this image. Wrap, bind, fire spin, and clamp prevented the opponent from doing anything for 2 to 5 turns. If you were slower than the dude trapping you, you were screwed until the move missed. Say you were very smart and figured out that you could still use items while trapped. Then watch out, because if the trapping attack ended and you got put to sleep in one of those turns, you would never wake up until you switched or died.
Yeah, there's like weird oversights where like if you do certain things, like the game will get tricked into like these weird like calculations and shit like that.
Yeah.
I mean, it's a small thing. It is a mechanic that I'm glad they did away with, because it is in battle. It's a major problem for those moves.
It's busted, and when opponents use it on you, it's annoying as fuck.
It's one thing though is that
you can use it.
You can use it, and opponents usually didn't always pick that move, knowing whether because the AI in these games is bad.
It's terrible.
It's really bad, and they'll often not pick whatever the best course of action is. Most of them, their AI is like click random move, so like you wouldn't always get trapped in fire spin because they just simply wouldn't pick it all the time. But no, that is an interesting thing. But I think the lack of information is probably my biggest problem. Maybe the item pocket is too small and fused together.
What
are some other big ones?
If you kill a Pokemon with Hyper Beam, you don't have to recharge. I
mean, I think that's cool.
That is pretty cool.
They should bring that back. Bring back Gen 1 Hyper Beam.
That'd be busted.
Make Hyper Beam great again.
God.
The one time people used Hyper Beam.
I think this one is funny. You could evolve Pokemon that would normally require an evolutionary stone for it by having them level up in a trainer battle, and by finishing the battle with a Pokemon with its internal number matching the internal number of a required stone.
Yeah, it's really weird. There's like that, and that's actually why like the Mew glitch works. Which, if you don't know what the Mew glitch is, there's a spot very early in the game. You can also do this over by Lavender Town as well, but the fastest way to do it is in Red and Blue, at least, because you can do something similar to this in as early as Viridian Forest in Yellow, but it doesn't give you a Mew. The weird thing is like some trainers, they have that line of sight, and this is like in pretty much all the games except for Scarlet and Violet, where you have to actually walk up to them. But the trainers have a line of sight, and it can range from like pretty far away to like they have to be like basically you have to be right next to them to see you. And there's this one trainer over in Cerulean City that's up north, and as soon as you walk down one tile so they're on screen, they'll see you. But there's enough time before they can notice you where like there's a several frame window where other things can happen. Like if you are on a patch of grass, you can still get a wild encounter. If you press the pause button, you can open the pause menu before they see you. Well, that second thing allows you to basically manipulate with the stats, kind of the way that you were talking about, Jack. Similar to that, like depending on like an ID number that matches up with like a special stat, you can like get a Mew. It's kind of weird. And there's like other crazy glitches in these games because that you could just basically do whatever you want with them.
Yeah.
You can make whatever Pokemon you want to have appear, get whatever items you want. It's crazy.
God, I just saw a good one on here. Oh, about the AI specifically being bad. I need to find it.
The infamous fact of them using status moves that match the type that's supposed to be super
effective.
Yeah,
that was the main thing. And also, like, sometimes they'll heal themselves even when they're at full HP.
Oh, yeah. They'll, like, try to use, like, recover and stuff like that, even though they already are at full.
Yep.
I don't know. Landon, is there anything you'd like to add that we haven't mentioned?
The games are stupid and smelly.
That's true. But we already knew that, Landon.
I don't know. They're broken messes. I don't know where I was going with that. I don't know. They're just like broken, but they you can still find a little bit of fun out of them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm not saying you can't.
It's one of those things where, like,
I am.
you kind of have to just go in with the mindset that these games are not, as fine-tuned as you might expect. You just got to go in. It's kind of like going into Final Fantasy 1. It's like you have to just know, okay, I'm going to pick this game up, and it's archaic, but I'm going to try and enjoy it for what it is anyway.
It's like going in and trying to play The Elder Scrolls V Skyrim.
I have no idea.
Landon,
it's going to be an archaic
Landon. Let's be real. That's a massive exaggeration. There is no way that Pokemon has more glitches than The Elder Scrolls V Skyrim.
I mean,
you're right.
We are talking
being
about
a little too harsh on Pokemon.
Yeah.
We are talking about two of the buggiest games known to man.
True dat.
The absolute buggiest games known to man. As kids, I'm sure that like we've all had like a favorite move on a Pokemon where we just like to click that over and over because it does the cool thing of making the thing happen that makes you get really excited to see. What is like that number one move that you just like to click on all the time?
Poison Sting for my Weedle.
I hate this so much.
I don't remember any of the animations specifically. So nothing is really coming to mind, honestly. Al said impact bomb.
Al says impact bomb.
Impact bomb.
Here goes my impact bomb.
Here comes my impact bomb.
Go watch our Grandia 2 streams.
Go watch the Great Ace Attorney VODs.
Oh my god. I like Razor Leaf's animation.
I was gonna say Razor Leaf is a good move. Plus, like the weird thing is like critical hit rates in these games are like all over they're just insane. So Razor Leaf was effectively like stronger than Earthquake most of the time.
It's so funny.
But I also love the poison or like the toxic leech seed combo.
True.
That is a pretty cool combo. I think my favorite move to spam is probably Surf. Because I always have a water type.
Yeah.
It always knows it. It always does a lot of damage. So it's just like a default to me to just like send out the water type and spam Surf.
I was about to say, and it hits 2 Pokemon in double battles, but then I remember that double battles didn't exist yet.
I was gonna say, yeah, double battles. It's funny to think, but that did not get introduced till Gen 3, and it's been 7 generations. So we've had double battles for most of the series' existence. But nope, Game Boy games did not have double battles in them.
While Landon is trying to be quiet so that he can cut out his audio with the whiz in the background. I assume it's the whiz. Yeah, I figure. I was going to fill the air with something and I lost my train of thought. Cloud?
I will say one thing that, like, even for its time, it was cool that after you beat the game, there was like this bonus dungeon that opened up to you. Because not every RPG had this sort of thing. Like after you beat the game, you get extra content. So it's kind of become like a running thing where like people, when they talk about Pokemon games, they'll often talk about like post-game content, stuff that you can do after you've beaten the game.
Yeah.
And even though it's not a lot, like if you go back and like play Red and Blue, once you've beaten the game, that's it. Like by comparison, there's nothing else to do. But even then, you still at least had that one thing with Cerulean Cave, where you could go venture in and go catch a Mewtwo.
It's a bonus dungeon. You know,
and I mean, you can still repeat the final bosses, so.
I mean, like, in a vacuum, it's pretty cool. But, like, we're spoiled by, like, all of the cool shit that you get beyond the main game in future generations. So.
Yeah.
But
I mean, you had the complete the Pokedex,
true.
like whole line, so you had the ability to go after the 3 birds if you hadn't done that before.
Yep. And it was more realistic to expect that like that was actually part of the game, is that the game really wanted you to complete the Pokedex.
It's like go for
151 monsters isn't like too big of an ask.
Yeah, it's not an unreasonable like goal. Like, gotta catch them all. Like, literally, go fucking do it. Can't take that long.
Yeah, fun fact, Al mentioned, it was called the Unknown Dungeon until they actually confirmed the name as the Cerulean Cave in, like, I want to say it was probably Gen 3 when they did the remakes, but it might have been called that Cerulean Cave, like, during Gen 2 at some point, but I don't think so. But yeah, no, the Unknown Dungeon, Cerulean Cave is really cool. I also thought it was cool that, like, the Pokemon that could appear there, like, didn't have a Pokedex. Like, so the Pokedex entries could tell you where to find Pokemon with the habitat, even in the first games. But even if they showed up in Cerulean Cave, it would not show up on the Pokedex page. Like, it was like, ooh, secret location. Not even the Pokedex knows about this location. I thought that was pretty cool. But yeah, you had the completing the Pokedex. That's basically it. But
yeah,
it's
neat.
Fight the Elite Four again, beat up Mewtwo, complete the Pokedex.
Yep, pretty much. But yeah, that's Pokemon Red and Blue in a nutshell. Any closing statements, Jack?
Play the remakes.
Yes.
We're not talking about that. What the fuck?
I know. Just saying.
Okay.
I mean, I don't know. I have played these games, you know, to not just to an extent. I've done like full playthroughs of either red or blue, and also yellow. So I mean, they're still fun. They're still playable. It's a simple, good time. I mean, fuck it.
This game makes you feel like a Pokemon trainer.
Yeah.
It truly is the Mario 1 of Pokemon.
It truly is the Zelda 1 of Pokemon. And the Guitar Hero 1.
Guitar Hero.
And the Mortal Kombat 1. Wait a minute. Yeah, that's about all I got.
Yeah, I would say it's hard to recommend these games to like a newcomer unless they're going in with the explicit mentality, which most players aren't, unfortunately, of this game is dated, but I will enjoy it for what it is and see where the series has evolved from here. Because the series has really come a long way, but these games still put a lot of that foundation, like a lot of the core mechanics, a lot of the just the DNA of Pokemon. You know, a gym challenge and Elite Four, even if it's not in every single game, it's in most of them. And just the overall progression, the journey of building a team of Pokemon, collecting as much as you can, like that's all been there from the very first games. And I think it's pretty impressive that a first game was able to do so much and, you know, just provide that experience to really get people interested.
It is.
I mean, they are dated, though.
It is quite a lot of content for a Game Boy game.
It really is. Like, it's like this and like Tetris are games that you can really just go back to over and over and over again. That's why they're the two best-selling, most popular games on the system. Just super fun, easily replayable, good time. Yes, Landon? You can't see it, but Landon is
leaning in closer.
Ever so close.
But he's doing like a pose. He's doing like an arms crossed pose.
He's
and
like
he's
a side from the side view.
Yeah. Hold on. I'll do the... No, Lennon, get back to the side. We need to do like a back-to-back. Like we're in a sitcom together.
Oh. Okay.
Wow, that was so much fun for our audio.
Yeah.
Audience.
Yeah.
Anyway.
That was
You got quite a weird job with editing this.
Fuck that guy who has to edit this audio.
You mean you?
Oh.
You're gonna make him cry again.
I thought I got this one off because I had to do the Dragon Ball one. Anyway, I never get any time off, ever. What was I gonna say? I was gonna say, get yourself a Bellsprout and have a good time. Just wrap everything.
Yeah.
Just
Just
wrap,
spam
poison
wrap
powder,
and sleep powder.
leaf seed.
I'm surprised you didn't say
Yeah.
Weedle.
Yeah, but
He's
Weedle
my
can't
boy.
rap, so
Yeah, Weedle can't rap, but he's my boy.
Weedle can't rap, but he can sing.
Yeah. No, he can't,
he
actually.
can't actually sing
He
either.
legally cannot. He can't sing.
Damn.
But he can poison sting. Here comes my poison sting!
That's what Weedle says, just like that.
That's
It's Weedle's
every time.
Weedle's iconic catchphrase.
Yeah, I mean, they're fun games. They exist.
I think if you really want to get the most out of these games, I recommend, like, if you have the means to have the hardware, like, getting these games and then playing Pokemon Stadium with the teams you beat the games with, because then you'll really be able to, like, stretch out that experience. But, I mean, not everybody has access to that stuff, but if you can, it's probably, like, the best way to experience Generation 1 is doing, like, all that together.
Just start a Fortune 500 company to make enough money to purchase a copy of Pokemon Blue.
And then Pokemon Stadium, and a transfer pack,
You need
and a working N64.
you need a second. You have to get a second Fortune 500 company to buy Pokemon Stadium.
True.
Yeah.
But
yes.
So we're gonna move on to, we have another big topic, which is that there was a Nintendo Direct, and
When?
it was, so what was the date for it? It was September 14th.
Oh, that one.
So we
Of what year of our
of
Lord
2023. In case you're listening
Okay.
to this like many years into the future, September 14th, 2023, they announced a lot of stuff as they usually do. I have a link to an article where they from Nintendo Life here, and I'm just going to go down the list of things. So one of the things that they showed off was the DLC for Splatoon 3 called Side Order.
Pass.
Pass. Yeah, I guess it's cool, I guess. I haven't played enough Splatoon 3 to be interested in it.
I still need to play the main campaign in Splatoon 3, but once I do that, I'm fucking interested in that. Splatoon has good DLC.
That is true.
Yeah, Splatoon does, but I also have not played through the story, so that's why I'm saying pass.
Fair.
Yeah, I've been so burned out, and like Splatoon was one of the game franchises I just kind of stopped being able to pay attention to, but it's interesting enough. The next thing they showed off was a is it a remake? I don't know if it's a remake or if it's just a new game with the same title as the original, but we got Mario vs. Donkey Kong.
Remake.
It is a remake of the
Yeah, it's a
of the
remake.
GBA one,
Mm-hmm.
which I've heard like people are like not super excited for it, like even people that like are really big on this series, because it being a remake and of the first one, they don't have like all the, because there's like another one I guess that came out that had like way more levels. Like I know some people are like, oh, why didn't they do Donkey Kong 94? I don't know, I haven't played.
Well, one, yeah, why didn't they do Donkey Kong 94? That's a fantastic game, but two, who cares?
Good point.
I don't know, I pay no attention to this series, so
Yeah. The reason why they probably chose this one to do is because of and this is the thing. This is the reoccurring thing about this whole Nintendo Direct. Is the Mario movie.
True.
If you think about it.
That's
Mario vs. Donkey Kong.
It's a very good point.
That was like a point of the movie where Donkey Kong and, Seth Kong and Malaria Man both fought. I don't know.
No, I like that. I think that's a good point, is that like they're really trying to cash in on the success of the Mario movie by putting out a bunch of games that people will be interested in that are Mario. And like this is
the
one.
easiest way to do that is to rehash old games.
True
Yeah,
that.
true. They rehash old games, especially stuff that looks like it could have been like ripped out of the movie, like Mario vs. Donkey Kong, then boom, easy money. Yeah.
Yep.
Jack, any thoughts to add?
Not really.
Okay.
Head empty.
Head
We
empty.
had some more. There's another trailer for Prince of Persia: The Lost Crown, which I don't
Pass.
remember if they showed that at the
Maybe.
previous Nintendo Direct. I know that we got information on it pretty recently, but I don't remember if a Nintendo Direct showed anything. So this may or may not be the first time they showed it off in a Nintendo Direct, but I can't remember.
Yeah, I don't remember what happened in the last one.
It looks interesting, though.
I'll say this. Maybe. We'll see.
Maybe. It's a Ubisoft
Maybe, we'll
game,
see.
so
Exactly,
the
that's why I said
My
we'll see.
faith
the bar and the expectations kind of low.
My faith is low.
Yeah. But it looks like it could be fun.
Now,
we'll
these
see.
all of these things that we talked about so far, none of these are coming out yet. They won't be out until some spot in 2024, varying. So, like the Splatoon DLC's in the spring, Mario vs. Donkey Kong is in February, Prince of Persia is in January. This next one is actually out now, which is Horizon Chase 2. I don't know. It's a cool racing game with a neat visual design, I guess. I don't know. There's so many racing games coming out.
Pass.
Yeah. The next thing that they we got to see was Super Crazy Rhythm Castle, which is actually out in November. I don't know.
I don't know what that is. Pass.
Sounds interesting, but pass.
They had an extended trailer for a Spy Family game starring Anya.
Pass. I don't know what that is.
If you like Spy Family, I guess you can play a game now.
Pass.
Sure.
No. I don't know what that is.
Pass. They showed off more of Super Mario RPG's remake.
Pass.
And
Wait.
I'm excited for the chance to finally play this for once. I've never been able to get a chance to play it when I'm interested in playing the first Mario RPG. So it looks great, and I like the new mechanic that they added, where you'll have basically a team overdrive that fills up over time that you can unleash every so often. I think it's pretty cool.
You should do a 24-hour stream of the game.
I agree.
I don't think 24 hours, but I could stream it.
I think you should do a 48-hour stream, actually, now that we're talking.
Now
How
that
long
we're
is the
talking
game?
turkey,
I don't even think it is 48 hours long.
probably like 30 hours if I had to guess.
I was going to say, isn't it like a 25, 30 hour game?
Probably. I forget.
17 and a half hours for main story.
You should do a 24-hour stream.
You should do a 24-hour stream.
Maybe if I have the day off, I don't know. Next game that they showed
ask
off
for the day
was
off.
another Code Recollection. I don't know what this is, to be honest.
Oh, ooh.
Really?
Yeah,
I'm doing the
can-
hand motion.
you can
so everyone knows.
you can talk about it, Landon.
I never played the original games, but these look fun. They're like puzzle solving games that Jack would like, but
Oh.
he has no interest because he didn't pay attention to the trailer.
I didn't want.
It's where you go to the mystery island as the girl, and you have to solve puzzles, and you find out about the story about your long lost dad or whatever.
Oh, right.
Okay. That sounds
Yeah, it's that
interesting.
game. And they're getting a physical retail release, which makes me wonder why the fuck could they not do this with Famicom Detective, the Famicom Detective games.
You beats me.
Money. I don't know.
These games are I would say on about the same level of cult
Following.
cultness. Yeah, what the fuck?
I don't
Anyway,
know.
I'm just excited because it looks like a fun puzzle game, and we like those here on the Gaming Stooges.
We do.
Just ask Jack.
Yeah, I like puzzle games.
See, we're playing Ghost Trick right now.
Yeah.
Visual novel puzzle game.
Next thing they showed off and they finally revealed the name for, was Princess Peach Showtime, which was the Princess Peach game we got to see
Give us a little
teased.
Give us a little smash.
How do you guys feel about Princess Peach Showtime?
It looks cool.
I want it.
Landon wants it.
I want to play it. I want to play it right now.
So if you don't know, Princess Peach Showtime is a game where you'll be able to play as Princess Peach, and she can basically put on different costumes that will give her different abilities, changing up the gameplay style as well, as they were like teasing. Like she can be I don't know what they called it, but she like was like decorating cakes. She could be a detective. She could be a sword fighter, swashbuckler kind of thing. It's like got a bunch of cool little things that Peach can do in the game. So I don't know. It looks really fun. I do want to try it. That comes out in March, by the way.
Yeah.
Another Code Recollection comes out in January.
Yeah, that's so soon.
Anything you want to add, Landon, about Princess Peach Showtime?
No, it looks so cute. I like the setting. It's a musical.
I do like that.
Yeah, they need to... One, they better have a complete Daisy sequel to this where I can play through a Daisy video game.
Or,
what the
after you beat the game, you get a screen that says you can now play as Daisy. Then you play it again.
And you don't actually get the ability to play as Daisy. You just get the screen that says...
Oh, what a tease.
How would that even work?
That's false advertising.
That'd be amazing.
I would kill myself.
Wow.
I would kill yourself too. out of
spite.
Yeah. Spite and rage.
Anything else to add?
No.
Next game they showed off was Saga Emerald Beyond, coming out in 2024.
I don't care. Pass.
Yeah. Whatever. There was a Tomb Raider 1 through 3 remaster coming out in February.
Yeah.
Pass.
It's a remaster of the first 3 games. I think I'm actually kind of interested, and the funny thing is I'm interested for the reason that most people were complaining about this game, and that's that they didn't really like remaster it in the way you would typically think of a remaster, where they like really touch up the graphics and bring them to like current gen standards. They like left the graphics like they're still a PS1 game. They just clean them up. And I don't know, I kind of am a sucker for that like cleaned up retro aesthetic vibe. Like I feel like it actually fits, and I've never played the first 3 games, so it'd be a chance for me to jump in.
Speaking about that, I've been playing, and I know I'll probably talk about it a little bit more. You'll love the character models for Legend of Nayuta.
Yeah, I was noticing like when I was like watching like trailers for it, it does have that same vibe.
Yeah, it's like that. It's so cool.
Yeah.
Continue.
The next game that they showed off was Detective Pikachu Returns, which I swear to God, this is like the 5 millionth time we've seen this game in a Nintendo Direct.
Pass.
It comes out October of next year. Why are they showing this game off so much?
Next year? No.
It's
this year.
Oh, well then Nintendo Life had a typo because it says 2024 on their article.
They are wrong. It's coming out this year.
Okay.
Trust me.
I believe you.
I'm Landon.
You are Landon.
Honestly, they have a really bad typo because underneath the trailer, they have a blurb talking about Just Dance 2024 instead.
The fuck?
There you go.
That's so weird.
Well, that game is also a pass, so...
Yeah. They also showed off a game called Trombone Champ.
Oh, yeah.
Smash.
The only
Jack
thing
has to stream it.
The only thing I vividly remember about this game was in the trailer they showed off some song where there was an Italian flag waving in the background and images of pasta.
Have you seen like gameplay footage of Trombone Champ?
Not outside of this direct, to be honest.
Oh, really? Oh, yeah. I
didn't even know this game existed.
It's been on Steam for like over a year. It's just like a rhythm game where you like play a trombone and it's really goofy.
It seems pretty goofy based on the music videos that play behind you.
It's weird that they're putting it on Switch.
I'm not surprised.
Awesome.
But, okay. I mean, like, on the Switch, you're locked to, like, whatever songs are, like, included in the game, whereas
True.
you have, like, the option to make custom charts it all like on PC for whatever song you want. So it's just kind of like, and it's not like it's a very graphically demanding game either. So
No.
it just kind of seems like it's a questionable port.
So the one thing I thought was funny about this game was that the Switch has an IR sensor in the Joy-Con, but they've never actually like made much use of it. And randomly in this direct, we got not one but 2 games that like were highlighting that feature, and this was one of them.
That's pretty funny.
You could just use the IR sensor to pull the Joy-Con closer and farther away from your hand, and it would play the trombone that way. And it's so bizarre that all of a sudden we have games that can do that.
Why would I buy this game when I have
an actual trombone
trombone right there? It's right there. Folks.
Did you just pull out the "Why would I play Guitar Hero when I have an actual guitar" card?
No. I pulled out the "Why would I play Trombone Champ" card.
Okay.
And earlier I smashed this game and also said Jack should stream it. So there you go.
Landon's not
one
making
day.
any sense on tonight's podcast. No sense.
I want to
needed.
play this game with a Weedle. So.
I was gonna say.
The Weedle's the trombone.
No, I want to play the game multiplayer with a Weedle.
Goodness.
The Weedle also has a trombone.
Yeah.
There's some game called Battle Crush coming out in the spring.
Pass.
You made that one.
That's not
know.
real.
Pass.
They showed off War Tales, which is out now. I don't know.
I don't know what that is.
That's not real.
They showed off in Contra Operation Galuga. I don't know how that's pronounced.
Beluga.
Oh, and then they showed off Unicorn Overlord, which is a very interestingly named game.
You know, I don't know. It's a Vanillaware title, so it'll probably be good, but I have so many other RPGs. I don't
Yeah.
know this one.
It comes out in March, by the way. It looks interesting, but I feel like it's... I don't know. I'm not sure if I'll end up being interested. We'll come back to it in
Play
March.
through 13 Sentinels.
Jack, anything?
No.
Then they showed off more of the Luigi's Mansion 2 HD port remaster.
Yeah.
It looks
alright. I'm probably not gonna
Yeah.
buy it.
And then
probably not going to buy it.
they had a
Well,
couple
I guess if I want to stream it one day, I'd have to.
Yeah.
Be the easiest way to.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Easy spook
that
for
is
this
true.
Well, shit. I guess I have to
Because,
consider it.
you are... Yeah, I was going to say, aren't you going to try to like get around to all the Luigi's Mansion games? So
Yeah, I also want to redux the first game at some point, because that LP is old as shit.
Right. So there was that, and then they had 2 non-game related announcements. They first mentioned that they were opening up a Nintendo museum in March. It's cool, but I'll never be able to go there, so I'm just gonna hope to see cool pictures that people will post when they go. And then they also announced the release date for the Tears of the Kingdom amiibo, which is November 3rd. So we got nice amiibo of Zelda holding the Master Sword and Daddy Ganon shirtless and ripped for your pleasure.
But talk about the other ones. The other amiibo.
And then there was also... You mean the one that you don't care about? Because we got Sora Kingdom Hearts from Smash Bros.
I
Ultimate.
don't care about that one. Talk about the other one, though. Talk about the
Oh yeah,
others.
and then there's also 2 new amiibo coming for Xenoblade Chronicles 3 of Noah and Mio from that game.
Yeah.
They unlock a couple outfits for different characters. There's like a tweet that's in this article from Nintendo of America showing off the stuff that they unlock. Any
Now
of these
I'll finally be able to play Xenoblade Chronicles 3.
because there's amiibo for them.
Yes. Jeez.
Uh,
I have to do something with those amiibo that have been in the background since I got them. They've just been sitting right there.
True.
This whole time.
You do have Pyramithra amiibo.
Yeah. They're just sitting there.
Jack, any of these amiibo interest you?
I gave up on Amiibo years ago, honestly. I dare not go down that rabbit hole again.
All right. They showed off Bandletale, a League of Legends story. It's a League of Legends side game.
That is
Shut the fuck
That
up.
is the biggest fucking pass I could ever possibly think of.
And then there was another game that is also a League of Legends side game, Song of Nunu.
A bigger...
Shut the fuck
pass.
up.
They showed more off of WarioWare Move It.
Fuck yeah. I'm excited
Keep
for
talking.
that. Smash.
Talk about it then.
I'm excited for it. What was that one fucking thing that Triple Q posted on Twitter? He was just like, I'm excited for the new WarioWare game, and it's like just the fucking logo, but it says like WarioWare Move It Up Your Ass or something.
Yeah, because you like get in the squat chicken position and you have one Joy-Con riding up your butthole, the other one you're like deep throating.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, wasn't this the
Yeah.
other game that they like reveal that there's
Yes.
stuff that you can do with the IR sensor?
It is.
Yep.
It is the other game.
So, if you're looking for it,
Because the IR sensor reads your butthole.
it does.
It's really funny.
Did you have anything to add about WarioWare Move It, Landon? No. Okay.
I'm
They
excited
showed
for it,
off Ayuden Chronicle 100 Heroes, which comes out in April. Oh yeah, if I didn't mention it, WarioWare Move It comes out November 3rd. There is a game called Eastward Octopia coming out in winter. It's getting DLC.
That is DLC for the game Eastward.
Okay. Octopia is
Yes.
the DLC. Okay. I don't know.
Yes.
I don't know. I never played the game. Did you?
I didn't play it either. No, I don't play video games. I podcast about playing video games. I don't have time to play video games. I'm too busy podcasting.
About playing video games.
Yes.
Even though there's many episodes where you just played Dokkan Battle.
That's not video game. That's life.
True dat.
And I was doing that earlier this episode, so...
They showed off
It's-
Wargroove 2. I don't know. I hadn't played
I played the first one. I did not play very much of it. And then Advance Wars just came out. And I'm like, I don't really need Wargroove. I have Advance Wars. Because it's...
the same thing.
Like, yeah, Wargroove was just like an indie company doing Advance Wars because there hadn't been an Advance Wars in forever. And then Nintendo was like,
We'll make
remake
Advance Wars.
Yeah. Way forward. You do all the work. We'll just delay it 18 times.
True. Then they also showed off Dave the Diver. If you ever wanted to play a game where you dive and then make seafood, there you go.
I hear this game is fun. Apparently there is a demo.
Yeah, there is a demo, and it comes out in October, the 26th.
I could play this game's demo, but I've been too busy dying to the first enemy in the Star Ocean demo, so I probably will never get around to this demo.
You've been turned off to all demos for the rest of time thanks to Star Ocean.
for existence.
Fuck demos. Jack, anything to add?
No.
Okay. And then probably one of the few things that we're all going to be able to talk a little bit about. They showed off some stuff from the last wave for the Mario Kart 8 Deluxe Booster Course Pass.
Yeah.
They showed off one course,
Yeah, but it's fucking...
we're getting-
That's all you're getting.
but we're getting 4 characters.
It's Daisy Circuit, though.
Yes, they did show it's Daisy Circuit from Wii. That's getting brought back. And then we got the announcement of Diddy Kong, Funky Kong, Pauline, and Peachette as playable characters.
Everyone online is going to be playing as Funky Kong, and it's going to be just like 2008.
There's going to be like 11 Funky Kongs and 1 Pauline.
Yeah.
There's quite a few people excited for Pauline as well.
I will never play as any of these characters. Why are they bothering?
Not even Peachette?
Landon Cloud,
Who?
you have to consider this is Landon we're talking about. When was the last time he played? The last time he played as a Mario Kart 8 Deluxe character that was not Villager Girl, he lost.
Oh, fair.
Villager
But,
Girl
yeah.
is the only character for Landon.
I'm excited
It's true.
for it. It's going to be great to finally have like all of the DLC because we are going to be doing a stream for this.
Oh
Not a
yeah.
stream.
What they need to do is release Booster Course Pass number 2 and just start doing a whole nother fucking wave of this.
Yeah.
Jeez.
Milk this cash cow, baby.
Milk it.
I don't know if we're going
No.
to see a second course pass, but
No, probably not.
No.
I mean,
But
we have plenty
It'd
to.
be funny.
I was gonna say we have
Yeah.
plenty to chew on with just this one. That comes out holiday 2023. That could mean anything.
Probably
So,
November, if I
That
had to
could
guess.
be Indigenous Peoples Day.
Bark.
Yeah.
Okay, the dog didn't like that. I'm sorry.
Damn.
Wow.
Your dog is racist.
I was gonna say the same thing.
I know.
And then something that none of us are gonna probably care about talking about. There's a new map coming to Among Us. You don't care about this.
Oh. No, I started doing the Smash thing before you said any words.
Oh,
and then you said words. And
yeah.
I was like, oh,
There's a new map in
Never
Among
mind.
Us. It had like a whole trailer for it too. I was like, what the hell?
Like,
I think because I did not watch this live, I watched it after the fact. I just skipped ahead.
yeah.
And then the last thing they showed off was a remake for Paper Mario: The Thousand Year Door. That was their big
What?
reveal for the direct.
Why would they do that one?
I already knew
Oh,
this was
boy.
coming.
There's 18 other games I'd rather them do first. And they're all Paper Mario for the Nintendo 64.
They probably
They're
specifically didn't do that because it's on the NSO. Like, you can just play the NSO.
But that's dumb. They did the 3D All-Stars package with Mario 64.
Yeah, but this seems to be more of a, like, graphical overhaul than just a straight-up port.
Yeah, it's
yeah,
like
but that's stupid.
it's a
because I
remake
don't want it.
it's a remaster bordering on remake. Like,
I-
they're putting
I
in a
don't
lot
want
of
this
effort.
game. I want the game I want. Why doesn't Nintendo cater directly to me?
That's a good question, Landon. You should write them up and ask them.
I shouldn't have to. I should use this platform as my way of calling them out.
I will.
and then
You're gonna-
forcing them.
You're gonna send
I
them a
will-
letter with like a cassette tape of this podcast on
yes.
I will. A
Yes.
cassette tape,
it. Yeah,
Yes.
a vinyl record.
of a podcast.
I'm gonna smoke
Sure.
signal them this podcast.
God, this podcast is close to 2 hours long. This is gonna be like a quadruple LP.
Yeah. Why not?
Anyway,
4 vinyls. Jack, how do you feel about this?
Never say that again. Yeah, yes. God, yes. Oh my God. 1,000 Year Door? Oh my God. Yes, please. I do think I will, I'll admit, I think it's a little weird that they're doing 1,000 Year Door and not Paper Mario 64. Like, I do agree to some extent with Landon. But the other part of me just says, holy shit. There's
It's
a
Paper
1,000.
Mario, the
There's
1,000 Year Door.
It's Paper Mario, the 1,000 Year Door. Stream coming the day that shit comes out. When does it come out?
It comes out. There's no specific date. It's just next year.
Yeah,
We don't
yeah.
know when it's coming out.
It's like sometime 2024.
Yep.
It's like
Literally
cute.
just 2024. That's all
Okay.
they said. I'm really excited for this, and I mean, I know Landon is like, why isn't it the first game? Unfortunately, I don't know if you noticed this, they really want to milk re-releasing GameCube games for full retail price. Because they know they're going to be able to get away with it, because there's so many GameCube
No.
games that people want, and they're going up in price, so they're like, why don't we remake these GameCube games and just put them on the Switch?
Metroid Prime Remastered was only $40.
To quote,
but
yeah,
I mean, they could have also just re-released it as just the game itself off the eShop, and it's just emulated in a sense. But they're not doing that because they know that they can just have actual re-releases and charge more.
Yeah,
and justify it.
After
is what
all,
I'm saying.
Nostalgia is for 2 decades ago, not 3. Even though Paper Mario on 64 came out.
It was a 2001 game.
Yeah,
it was one of the last. It was one of the last N64 games.
Yeah. So
but, yeah,
still,
it's like I said, they've been really on that let's re-release GameCube games either remastered or remade and get them out there. Like they did this with Pikmin 1 and 2 bundled together. They did this with a full remaster of Metroid Prime. So this kind of tracks that they're just doing this for Paper Mario Thousand Year Door specifically. I'm excited for it because I mean, I liked Thousand Year Door when I played it on the GameCube, and being able to get the game touched up for modern consoles is just going to be the easiest way to go about it and a way to hop back in. But this was their big reveal. So closing thoughts, you guys have any statements of the Direct overall?
It was alright. There was some cool stuff, but I wasn't expecting it to be a huge Direct to begin with, so I really had 0 expectations and walked out pretty pleased.
Yeah, I'm not gonna lie, outside of the Booster Course Pass announcement, the Thousand Year Door remake, and then Master or whatever. And then
a
couple of
forgot.
Did you forget?
F-Zero.
I was about to say.
Oh yeah, that's right. You want to know why? Because for some reason Nintendo Life didn't put this in their article.
What the fuck, Nintendo Life?
This article is so bad. Let's go back. F-Zero got an F99 Battle Royale treatment. We've got F-Zero 99, which they actually it's weird. It has the graphics of F-Zero, but it's not just an emulation of the game. It's more you got the Mario 35 or Pac-Man 99 or Tetris 99 style.
Yeah.
And you can unlock tons of different carts and colors and stuff like that.
I think it's
some unique mechanics. It's pretty cool.
I think it's cool, honestly. The fact that we have F-Zero content at all is a plus. And if a lot of people play it, I see that's what I feel like this is like. I feel like F-Zero 99 is a game that they're using to test the waters and see how many people are actually interested in F-Zero. And if there's enough demand and there's enough people playing the game, then Nintendo will make a new F-Zero game potentially. But regardless of that fact, I think F-Zero 99 is pretty cool. I'm gonna play it.
I haven't played it yet. I need to download it. I'll probably try and do that before I go to bed tonight. Just download it, but I probably won't play it yet. But it is cool that they're doing anything at all with F-Zero.
Yeah.
I thought, honestly, they would consider just adding Captain Falcon to Mario Kart before they even bothered with any new F-Zero content, but
I'm kind of surprised. Cool. All things considered, I'm kind of surprised that never happened. They put his fucking car in Mario Kart Wii, but not the character itself.
Yeah.
But, oh well.
You have any thoughts on F-Zero 99, Landon?
I don't care.
Okay.
He just brought it up so that we could talk about it real quick.
Yeah.
So yeah, that was the Nintendo Direct. Overall thoughts, Jack, you already mentioned yours. I'm not gonna lie, except for a couple of things here and there that are kind of interesting. I gotta say, this Direct was kind of mid. Well, it wasn't bad. It was just, there wasn't anything too over the top exciting. So, my expectations weren't high, but at the same time, there wasn't a whole lot. I think it was nice to get actual gameplay of Princess Peach Showtime. That's nice. And then the other stuff I mentioned, basically. That's about it. I know.
Yeah, I only really cared about the F-Zero 99 game being announced.
You've really, bastardized your own character on this podcast and just, went harder into this whole shtick.
That's me, baby. I'm harder every night. I mean...
What?
What? No, I am very excited for Princess Peach Showtime, and I think that's the biggest thing from this direct
for you. Yeah,
for me was that.
That's
honestly,
fair.
I mean, I wish they had shown off. Because, they dropped these fucking demos for Star Ocean and Dragon Quest Monsters the same day.
And they didn't say anything.
They could have. They could have just been like, hey, bitches and nerds are only two types of people that buy your video games. Bitches and nerds. You can download these right now. These are games coming out later this year that we want you to purchase so we make money.
So,
but yeah, other than that, Princess Peach Showtime looks awesome. I always feel like the September Direct is too soon after the summer, the June one. I know.
Yeah.
It's 3 months later.
It's just that the summer doesn't have a whole lot, so by the time the September thing comes around, it's there's not a whole lot more to show off.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I know, the biggest thing is, would a Fire Emblem Geology of the Holy War remake really kill them to toss me to me? Yeah, I probably would. So they'll never do it. So there we go. Oh well.
I am waiting on when they'll eventually. I'm not sure if they would just pull a Blade or
an Echoes.
Or no, I was thinking they could either do that, but I was thinking they might also do what they did with the first Fire Emblem, where they just put it on the Switch eShop for a limited time and you just got the original game.
No, I would rather they just do it.
I mean, that would be
Echoes.
better. I'm just saying that's still something that they could feasibly do, and I would expect it from them.
I want an Echoes. Let's just put it that way.
Okay.
That's what I want. Anything less than that is slander from fucking Nintendo, and they will hear me shout.
And the cats.
As soon as my cats are done banging at the door.
So that does it for the
hate
Nintendo Direct.
The Direct. I'm gonna go get ice cream.
So what has everyone been up to? It's time to catch up and just kind of see how everybody's been.
Lennon's going to get ice cream. It's time for the ad read. This stream is brought to you by us. We're making this stream, and no one else.
Yeah.
We don't have any sponsors. Fuck the system.
We really don't.
Until Lennon gets back, and he's going to talk about Tillamook.
Probably.
Link to the socials in the description. Join our Discord server.
We have a Discord. We've got a Patreon.
Yeah.
You can donate to that Patreon.
And you can watch some cool videos that we made where we talk about fast food and put them in a tier list.
And argue over Nintendo franchises.
Yeah.
And show off our game collections.
And do some Pathfinder.
We will be doing some Pathfinder. That will be going out when this goes up. It'll be a few days from today, basically, because it's going to be on the 1st of October as we do our Patreon exclusive on the 1st. Go watch the Great Ace Attorney VOD, says our always present viewer Al.
Shoutouts to Al.
Shoutouts to Al.
The real glue holding the Gaming Stooges together.
He really is. He keeps me sane when Landon is being insane in our
the
podcast.
membrane.
Yes. Insane in the brain!
What'd I miss?
We were doing our ad read and our Patreon call to action. And then, of course, telling people to go watch the Great Ace Attorney VODs, because you guys do that all the time.
What do you got?
still had a little bit of the orange and cream, but I didn't want to have that tonight because I had that last time. So I have Neapolitan.
Cool.
Nice.
A classic.
They do have the next seasonal batches from Tillamook. I did not buy them.
What do they have?
Because I have this and another carton to go through. But it is... Stop it. Stop it. I'm working. Stop it. It's the Christmas shit. There's like a peppermint bark, and then there's like a sugar cookie one.
Oh, okay.
They look fine.
Sugar cookie. They don't have Halloween shit?
No, because they hate me.
Oh.
And they hate you, but they hate me.
Tillamook is Alright, you know what? Tillamook is no longer sponsoring Spookfest.
That's true, because they don't have anything for us to sponsor it with.
Jack, what have you been up to?
Well...
What's new since we did the Dragon Ball podcast?
What is new since we did the Dragon Ball podcast? Did I say that I finished Jujutsu Kaisen, or at least the first season?
I think you mentioned starting it. I don't remember you mentioning finishing it.
Bethany and I finished it, and that was pretty fucking solid. I enjoyed it. I will watch... Oh my god. There's Cheese Whiz. Being a menace. Yeah, no, I finished the first season. I still need to watch the movie, and then, like, the second season is currently airing, but it's good. I like it. It has my attention. Otherwise, I have been to a good deal of shows recently.
Yeah, you've been really busy going to shows this month.
Yeah, Christ. The other day I went to Riot Fest in Chicago for just a day. It's a whole weekend thing, but I only went for the day. I got to see The Cure.
Nice.
And that was fucking incredible. My god.
How was Jeff Rosenstock?
I didn't get to see him because he got COVID.
Rip.
Yeah. And he canceled the rest of his September tour. Fuck me. I mean, I've seen him 7 times already, so it's not a huge deal, but still. Also, I didn't mind having an afternoon off for once.
Was it just the September leg of the tour?
Yeah.
Or was it like he postponed his whole
No,
tour?
no. The December... The dates he's doing in September are still going on. It's just like... He had like 5 shows left on this leg of the tour, and he was just like, I'm just gonna have to postpone them until another time, and I'm just like, god damn it. It had to happen like right before it finished.
Well,
right before that leg finished, anyway.
Then I guess I get to still see him in December.
You do. Yeah, just having some fun. Going to shows, other cool shit. I saw Mr. Bungle this past weekend.
Who?
Mr. Bungle. Oh my god, I need to show you Mr. Bungle. Everyone should look.
I was gonna say,
this is an endorsement. Everyone should listen to Mr. Bungle. Yeah, this is why I never like I don't know, I just feel like I'm just kind of talking to myself when I talk about the bands that I go see, which is why I'm just like, I go to shows. But, yeah. September is a busy month for shows. It always is.
That's what happens when you have a lot of, like, niche musical interests that you don't have a lot of people to talk to about them.
Yeah. I need to start a music podcast with this same group of people. It's still the Gaming Stooges podcast. We just talk about music now.
And like 99% of the time, it's just you talking.
Yes. Exactly.
Do I still have to edit all of the audio?
Yes.
Yes. Lennon's giving you the worst look right now. He's like, I fucking hate you.
I don't have time for that.
All right.
True.
What have you been up to, Landon?
I can go next.
Okay, Cloud, what have you been up to lately?
I don't know. I have to sit here and stare at the ceiling until I figure that out.
I really haven't been up to anything exciting, I guess. And you guys can continue looking at the ceiling as much as you want, because all I've really been up to is like the same old. I mentioned back during the Dragon Ball podcast, I picked up some overtime at work. Well, I ended up picking up some more overtime. So I've been kind of tired, exhausted, haven't done a whole lot.
Damn.
I guess I've been trying to shiny hunt that Dunsparce that I've like been off and on trying to hunt in Fire Red Leaf Green. I'm at 6,600 encounters. I still don't have it yet.
That's...
Been playing Pokemon Go some more, just doing random stuff in that. Pokemon Scarlet and Violet got its Teal Mask DLC. That's kind of the big thing. I've been playing quite a bit of that. I am enjoying that a lot. The new area called Kitakami is a lot of fun to explore. It's a decent chunk of content. I think it's better than the first DLC from Sword and Shield by quite a bit. The story behind it's pretty good. The characters are nice. Except for Carmen. There's like people that like her, and even though I've gone through quite a bit of the story and she's gotten better, I still don't like her. She's kind of a bitch. No, it's pretty cool. There's like some nods to Legends Arceus at some point in like a side story thing. I thought that was really neat. So, yeah.
Nice.
It's pretty cool. It's like they like managed to, the thing I like about it the most is the fact that like, so like when they did the Isle of Armor DLC for Sword and Shield, they just kind of like threw whatever Pokemon they felt like, oh, let's bring this Pokemon back, let's bring this Pokemon back, because it was them trying to recuperate from Dex Kai, right? So a lot of the shit that they brought back was kind of random, but in Kitakami they like deliberately pick a lot of Pokemon that would like make sense to be in this very Japanese style region. So you have like a lot of Johto stuff coming back, a lot of Sinnoh stuff coming back. So you've got like Woopers, Jotonian form, you've got Yanma, Aipom, you got Lucario, you got just like Sudowoodo, like a ton of, you know, Pokemon that you would expect to see those actually make a comeback, which I think is really cool. It makes it feel like it's an actual like second smaller region. It kind of reminds me of like the Sevii Islands from Fire Red Leaf Green, because it's like post-game content that has some deliberately chosen Pokemon to come back. So it's cool. That's like the biggest thing. I've played it with and without my girlfriend. We'll like do like raids together and just kind of like go back and forth doing like trades and stuff so that she could finish her Pokedex for that. Yeah. Like I said, not much going on my end. That's basically the one thing.
Landon, it's your turn.
Yeah, Landon, it's your turn. And listeners will not see, but he is pointing at his cat that is laying down on a chair behind him.
It's Cheese Whiz.
It's Cheese Whiz. Honorary 5th member of Gaming Stooges.
No, that's
Who's the 4th?
Trader, obviously.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. You got Jack, me, you, Trader, Cheese Whiz.
Trader has always been the 4th Gaming Stooge. What are you talking about?
As far back, if you go back on our channel on YouTube, like all like we talk about Trader so much.
Trader has like
transcended,
always existed in terms of Gaming Stooges content.
No, but okay.
Well, true.
Not
but
the original stuff.
But he's always been alive during Gaming Stooges content.
More or less, yeah.
Good old Trader. Says
anyway. Me, you say?
Yes.
Forcing me to talk about myself?
Yes.
Oh, I thought you'd never ask.
Landon has avoided talking as much as possible on this podcast episode.
I always try to avoid talking, period.
Damn.
You've taken it to new heights today.
Jesus. Okay. So I think I mentioned in the last one that I beat Pikmin 4.
Yes.
Yes.
And that I moved on to Advance Wars 1+2
Reboot Camp.
Reboot Camp. I played through the entirety of the first campaign, and I played through like half of the second campaign, and then I decided I don't want to play this anymore. I want to play Octopath Traveler 2.
Okay.
That was
So I started playing more Octopath Traveler 2.
Random urge to play Octopath Traveler 2?
No, you know what happened is I played the demo for Star Ocean, the second story R, and I was like, oh, this game's cool, but it just makes me want to.
Yeah, because of the style, right? The visual style.
Yeah,
yeah,
and it's not quite the same.
No,
like Star Ocean's going for a little bit something different with its whole rigmarole of the pixel art HD BS, but it was just like, oh, right, I only put like 6 hours into Octopath Traveler 2, and I was enjoying my time with that one. Let me go back to that. So I did. And, like, I'm working on getting my 6th party member. I think I'm doing his Chapter 1 right now. And I am really enjoying that. The combat is real cool in that. I love the latent abilities characters have in that. Makes combat really fun. And yeah, that's a good time. But then the gods went and brought me Legend of an Iuta, Boundless Trails. And so the last 2 days, while I've been sick on my days off, as it would be.
How much did the game cost?
I've been playing that. It's $50.
Okay, so it's not full retail $60-$70 at least.
No.
Okay.
But
Landon got it on multiple systems.
Landon is collecting his shit purely for the visual spectacle.
He has
for
both
the visual
copies.
Spectacle.
One for
something
PS4,
literally,
one for Switch.
And Switch. Literally, no one but Al will see this because we don't repost these.
Yeah, we don't repost the video version.
Yeah, I don't know why we do the video aspect of these.
So that we can see each other.
That's fair. I don't care. I think it's fun. But it lets me do visual gags for literally just Al. Anyway. And then, so, I'm really enjoying it. I'm, like, surprised at how much I'm enjoying it. Like, I knew I was like, yeah, I'll probably enjoy it. But, like, man, it's a lot of fun. Combat's pretty straightforward, but, here's the thing. When you complete stages, you get, like, stars, like, depending on your completion. So, for beating the stage, you get a star. For doing a, like, side mission, which is, like, beat 10 enemies, clear the stage in like, 3 minutes, don't get hit, like, more than 10 times, kill enemies with arts, like, break certain... Like, it's just, like, a thing you have to do. There's one per stage. And then it's do all the collectibles, and there's usually 1 to 2 treasure chests in a stage, and there is 3 shards, where you can get more, money from breaking those. There's 3 in every stage, and if you do all of that, you can get 3 stars, and when you get enough stars, you get a new sword technique. So, like, you can get a downward thrust, or, like, a spinning up, or a guard, or, like, an aerial dodge. There's more. And upgrades to those. And so, like, as you progress through the game, you get more combat abilities. The little fairy girl, shoots magic, and she gets new magic all the time. And you can, like, interlay... Go ahead.
Is there any version differences between the PS4 and Switch copies? Because I know that, like, there was, like, at one point a difference between, like, a previous game that they came out with, so I don't know if there's, like, the case here or not.
From what I understand, there is not as big of a difference between these two.
Okay.
Yeah. I know that with Zero and Azure, those ones were preferred on the Switch or PC. But I think all 3 of these are pretty similar. I don't remember there being any, like, big nasty, like,
probably just graphical
missing
performance
features. Yeah, no missing features, no graphical performances, because, like, out of the gate, you can do auto text forward in this game, and that was like one of the big things that Zero and Azure didn't have for the PS4 release, which was weird. But that's in there. It took me a second to figure out the speed up function, because it's a different button than the shoulder buttons that it's normally on for the core games. It was actually it was R3 is what it was. It was
okay.
Oh, that's weird.
That is weird.
Yeah. So at first I thought, oh, they just didn't add it to this game because but I clicked it randomly. I'm like, what the fuck?
Well, this was originally a PSP or PS Vita game?
PSP.
PSP.
Yep. Very late PSP game. It was actually Falcom's, if I remember right, it was their last PSP game that they made. And they made like
a bajillion
14 PSP games. Yeah, they made a ton of PSP games, and so this is like they had a lot of work going into this one, and so it's like really polished. The story's pretty solid. The levels aren't too long; they're all like action stages, and then you can replay levels pretty easy. And they actually have there's a season mechanic in the game, and eventually you get to control the seasons, so you can play through old levels, but they have new enemies and new layouts a little bit.
Okay, so they remixed the game a bit.
Yes, and it's fun. The two bosses I fought so far have been really fun. One of them was a giant golem type thing statue, and then eventually a second one pops out, and then there's a giant fish.
God, I hate to interrupt, but I'm so stupid and nobody caught it, but I never changed the stream description.
Good job.
I never changed it when we went live.
It's perfect.
So on Twitch, this is still going to say Grandia 2 with Cloud and others.
Perfect.
I'll notice, but he refused to elaborate.
Yeah, so. He never said anything, so
there you go.
I didn't notice. We've gone 2 hours, and I totally just am seeing this now. Oh well.
Yeah, so Legend of Nayuta, Boundless Trails, really fun. We should all peer pressure Cloud into buying it.
I'll get it soon. Just the fact that the simple fact that it's not like a $60 or $70 game, it's $50. Like, I can probably put $50 down on a game. So
yeah, it's fun, and it is an action RPG that I think you will enjoy. It has that type of feel. It's not quite the same feel as Dark Cloud 2, but it's like that vein.
I was gonna say what it was reminding me of was because of the perspective. It was giving me vibes of Threads of Fate on the PS1, because it's not you don't have full exploration. It's more kind of narrow, angular areas that you go around doing stuff. And that was that Threads of Fate had something similar to that. Not on the level of detail as this game, but
yeah. So yeah, that I would say that's sort of what you're looking at.
So
it's a little bit more linear. The levels are a little bit more linear, but there
does
is
look
a
interesting.
bit of exploration to them.
So
yeah,
I'm interested. In
so you'll probably hear a lot more about that game going forward, because that's all I'm going to be playing. I think that's it for video games I've been playing. Yeah, I'll cut it there. I probably have other stuff I could talk about, but that's all I want to know.
So that's about it. We have you have something to add?
But NIS America did announce that Trails from Daybreak is coming soon. Next year.
Ooh.
And I'm excited for that. It's going to be the Kuro no Kiseki.
Oh.
One.
Okay.
That's they're calling it Trails from Daybreak.
Okay. That makes sense.
And they also announced, for some reason, Cold Steel 3 and 4 as a 2-pack for PS5.
That's so weird.
Weird.
Not even the first two.
Here's the thing.
Skip right to 3 and 4.
They don't have the legal rights for those. Those are still XC. So NIS can't touch those. So NIS has been they have been doing this with a lot of games that they did for PS4. and other systems, where they've been bringing it to like PS5 natively. They did it with Ys 8, Ys 9 earlier, and some other games. But they're doing Cold Steel as a 2-pack. I'm like, okay. I would have paid $50 for both of them just to keep them both in my collection. But if you're going to give them both to me
in
with
one
all
game,
the cosmetic DLC, cool. So yeah, I have like 1,000 Trails games to play, and I will never get to play them all.
see, Landon, the PSP can't be a bad system because it has so many Falcom games on it.
See, this is your
It's true.
This is your Twilight Zone, Landon, where like they give you like all of the Trails games you could ever want, but then there's too many of them, and then you can never beat them all.
It's like he's got everything he ever wanted, but not enough time to do it.
Yup.
That's how it
Yeah,
be.
that sounds about right.
So
Okay,
yeah, that's
I'm
everything.
Yep.
We will announce at a later time what our next podcast is. We haven't decided yet, but we've got, all those social media links and stuff like we were referring to when we talked about the Patreon call to action. Do the things. We will see you guys next time. Have a good one. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Thank you for listening to the Gaming Stooges Talks podcast. If you enjoyed us, consider subscribing to our podcast RSS feed, or follow us on youtube.com/GamingStooges and twitch.tv/GamingStooges for more gaming content. If you'd like to chat with us, join our Discord. The link can be found in the episode description. We also want to thank all of our Patreon supporters. Your continued support means a lot to us. Not already one? Please take a look at what we have to offer anyone who becomes a patron at patreon.com/GamingStooges. See you next time!